Imagine fighting a war where every day brings new challenges, crippling equipment losses, delayed reinforcements, and a growing sense of fatigue among your troops. For Ukraine, this isn't just a hypothetical. It's the harsh reality of their ongoing fight against Russia. As the war grinds on, these challenges are reshaping the battlefield, putting immense strain on Ukraine's forces and testing the limits of their resilience. Today, we'll uncover the cold, hard facts about Ukraine's military difficulties, from devastating equipment losses to the demoralization of its troops. Let's dive in. Let's start with equipment losses, a critical issue for any military force. According to Oryx data, the Ukrainian armed forces lost 276 pieces of equipment in October alone. That's not just a number. It's a significant blow to their operational capabilities. To put that into perspective, those losses represent nearly a third of Ukraine's active armored vehicle fleet. This forces commanders to constantly adapt their strategies to make do with fewer resources. On the other hand, Russia's October equipment losses were staggering too. The highest monthly losses since October 2022. In total, Russia lost 695 pieces of equipment. However, Russia's larger industrial base and stockpiles of Soviet-era weaponry make replacing those losses much easier. This imbalance creates a tough situation for Ukraine. Every tank or vehicle they lose leaves their troops more exposed on the battlefield. And let's not overlook the morale factor. Watching their resources dwindle day by day can be incredibly disheartening for soldiers putting their lives on the line. And it's not just about tanks and vehicles. Watching their resources dwindle day by day can be incredibly disheartening for soldiers putting their lives on the line. And it's not just about tanks and vehicles. Artillery systems, drones, and advanced technologies are also being destroyed or disabled. These losses severely limit Ukraine's ability to launch offensives, leaving them increasingly reliant on defensive tactics. But when you're up against an enemy with overwhelming numbers and firepower, defense turns into a grueling battle of attrition, one Ukraine is finding increasingly difficult to sustain. Adding to these challenges is the delay in Western weapon supplies. While countries like the United States and Germany have pledged billions in military aid, the process of delivering these systems has been anything but straightforward. Take the much-discussed delivery of Leopard 2 tanks, for instance. Promised in early 2024, many of these systems only arrived months later, by which time Ukrainian forces were already stretched thin. Similarly, advanced systems like Patriot missile batteries require extensive preparation before they can be deployed effectively. These delays create a dangerous gap between Ukraine's immediate needs and the resources available. For soldiers on the front lines, this can mean relying on older, less reliable Soviet-era equipment, which often fails to match the capabilities of modern Russian systems. And there's another issue: sheer volume. The scale of equipment Ukraine needs often outpaces what its allies can provide in a timely manner. For example, replenishing just the armored vehicles lost in October alone would require weeks, if not months, of coordinated effort from Western suppliers. In response to these challenges, President Volodymyr Zelensky has taken proactive steps. He has repeatedly requested licenses from the United States to produce Patriot air defense systems domestically. By localizing production, Ukraine aims to enhance its defense capabilities and reduce dependency on external supplies. However, establishing domestic production is a complex and time-consuming process. It requires not only technological transfers and licensing agreements, but also the development of infrastructure and skilled labor to manufacture and maintain these advanced systems. While the initiative holds promise for the future, it does not provide an immediate solution to the pressing needs on the battlefield today. And again, even when weapons do arrive, the challenges don't end there. Receiving new systems is only the beginning. Deploying them effectively is an entirely different battle. Many of these donated systems require months of training before they can be used in combat. This creates a steep learning curve for Ukrainian forces, who are already under immense pressure on the battlefield. Logistics also come into play. Keeping these weapons operational in a war zone is no small task. It demands a steady supply of parts, maintenance expertise, and secure supply lines, all of which strain an already overstretched military. Complicating matters further is the sheer variety of equipment arriving from different countries. Each system comes with its own unique set of requirements, from ammunition types to spare parts. While this patchwork arsenal reflects the global support Ukraine has received, it also creates logistical headaches that can slow down operations and limit their effectiveness on the battlefield. For Ukrainian soldiers, the psychological toll of this war cannot be overstated. Reports indicate that desertion rates have risen sharply over the past year. Between January and October 2024, an estimated 60,000 soldiers abandoned their posts, a significant increase compared to previous years. These desertions not only strain manpower, but also create a ripple effect, further weakening the morale of those who remain on the front line. Soldiers are beginning to question the effectiveness of their efforts, especially when faced with relentless enemy assaults and dwindling resources. To address this issue, Ukrainian authorities have implemented stricter measures against desertion, including penalties of up to 12 years in prison. But critics argue that these actions fail to address the root causes, namely inadequate equipment, delayed support, and the relentless pressure of prolonged warfare. On a personal level, these struggles are deeply human. Many soldiers are simply worn down by the physical and emotional toll of war, questioning how much longer they can endure. So, what's next for Ukraine?